Are we being live streamed? Damn this. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Damn. We're gonna be live when she comes on. I didn't mean to do that to her. Boom. 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 Paste. All right. What's happening? Got 3 people on, 1 on Twitch. Jenna's going to be here in a minute. Hell of a lady. We're going to crack the code. We're going to crack the code, this matrix. We're just going to transform these energies. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing. Obviously, we're blocked on Facebook. So if anybody here that's on Facebook could share this to Facebook and let them know that we're on. Here comes Jenna. Here comes trouble. There you go. Start video. Oh, you're muted. Oh my God, you look beautiful. It's been a long time. Here, you're muted. Hang on. I'm going to send you a note. Should be a little box pop up that says turn on your mic. Ah,
hello.
God.
Oh my God.
I can't believe that this is happening.
I'm so excited.
You know, I'm getting chills because
I'm going to cry. You know, I'm going to cry.
You know how long ago it's been since we connected? I'm going to cry.
Yeah,
now.
I do. I do.
You were like in Soulogy when there was like 2,000 people. There's over 110,000 people now.
I was your biggest fan. I still am.
I'm your fan. I'm your fan. I was going to say, you know what's so crazy is before they knock me off, I go into the memories every night and, you know, as my routine and share stuff from the past that's relevant. In that video that you did, that 15-minute video that you did, which to me, I got chills. I mean, to me, that video, and of course, when I was going to go share it, they knocked me off. But that video was, to me, the best video I've ever seen by anybody. That is the I Am Soul, and I know your life. I don't think everybody does, so I really hope that you share. And you're so brave. You're so brave and beautiful. But I know your life. You know things about me that people don't know. I know things about you. Like that, you were one of the first. You were one of the first before I met Morgan. The first feminine energies that actually I could trust. You know,
absolutely.
Like you're fucking gold.
I love you.
I love you too.
I am. Can I just say I'm going to cry, but that's okay.
I am too. So I'm already crying.
Huh? I am so proud of you. I have watched you from your soul walk, from your sessions to being on the streets. I have watched you walk your path. I have watched you manifest this network. I have watched you birth your dreams from your soul. And I am so proud of you. Look at what you've done. And of course, Morgan too. But darling, I was there.
I know. We were there.
And I watched you. And to say to you that you have people like we are in awe of, like people like David Icke, for goodness sake. Sweetheart, I am so proud of you, Todd. I am
Thank
so
you.
proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
I love
I know,
you.
I know what you've been through. I've seen you. You're just like,
Yeah.
you're fucking gold, man. I mean, and then for that
Well,
video to come up last night, that was just like, you know, I was going to share it. Then I was going
yeah.
to send you a message and link it. Let's send the link to you, but I didn't get a chance
We'll
to.
just get into it. Let's just get into it, eh? Like, look, on my journey,
Yeah.
well, at least since you've known me, I've been trying to walk my walk and talk my talk, and it's not easy at all. It's not. We know far more than what we can embody at times. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And so when you met me, I was still, and this is going to be hard for people in the US of A because I'm going to talk in kilo terms, not pounds. But when you met me, I was probably about 200 kilos. So that would probably be, I don't know, in excess of 500, 600 pounds. I don't know. You have to do the math for me. And my journey had been so kind of up and down through my life that, you know, from childhood abuse to where you met me, I just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger with
Mm.
trauma and holding in a lot of my truth and a lot of the truth, you know. And so when you met me, darling, I really appreciated the love that you reciprocated back to me, because at the time I was really starting to walk a real walk. It was before I went and got surgery to help lose the weight for me. But let me tell you, the weight loss has been nothing in comparison to the mindset, to the mentality, to the up here, is nothing. You know, as you know, it's just the weight, the drugs, the addiction, the whatever addiction it is only how we project what we need to do or what we're suffering through. So when you met me, I was the biggest probably I've ever been in my life. I had just lost a child. I lost a child through the journey as well after 18 years of infertility. My husband and I were blessed with our second successful pregnancy, and we waited 18 years between the children, and I got to carry her for 6 months. And then I had to birth her asleep. And she really did start my journey from there to now. And people need to realize sometimes that our traumas are actually a humongous opportunity to grow and to use that as transformation to what you really want to do with your life and where you really want to get yourself. Don't get me wrong, it's a hard journey. It's a very hard journey. But for those of you who know me, if you're following from my page or whatnot, I try and keep things very authentic, very real. You will catch me having a nervous breakdown on lives. You will catch me angry, upset, crying, don't care. Because the thing is this, I don't want to be another person that says, look at me now. Now I've got where I've got and I'm at the precipice of the best that I can be. I don't want people to see, look at me now. I want people to walk my path with me every day and know the humility that we share as souls. That and it's very hard to be in the mindset of knowing you're a soul in this very physical and very, you know, energetic world. But I want to take people on the authentic path, and I want to be transparent as hell, because the fact is, I don't want anybody to feel like they can't be me, they can't be you, they can't be any one of us. We are all capable of every single thing each one of us is capable of, whether that's your gift, your uniqueness. We all have that ability to be that. So no one is better or worse than anyone else. And there is a lot of things I can't do that you can do, and vice versa. So I don't want to be another one of those people up kind of on the pedestal after the whole hard journey of real life and knocks and looking like crazy woman today and all the rest of it. I don't want to be another one of those people. I want to be the person that holds everyone's hands, going, listen, we're all messed up. We've all got our battles. We've all got our scars. We've all got our wounds. Let's walk together in our imperfections and be authentic. And let's get there really. Let's really walk that walk, you know. So a lot of the time I do go, like, that's great. Like, so even when people come to me for a reading, I'm like, okay, great. This is your reading, yes. But what part of it is you, darling? What part of it are you holding back on? Why are you perpetuating that in your life? What part of you can't let go of that? What part of you is still traumatized or hurt or lost or lonely, or what is it? Because I feel like unless we get real, then it's just going to be like the weight loss, Todd. It's going to happen, yes, but did it really authentically heal? No. So I want to keep shit real. Oh, sorry. I want to keep it real. As you know, baby.
Yeah, I know you. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna make it through an hour or whatever, however long we go with you.
I know, but that's okay because we're gonna do it together.
You know, you know something crazy. I just got a thought. I track the not to the nth degree. I track the number of shows. We've done 3,000 shows this month. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sitting here listening to you because I got knocked off last week, and then I came back on. I said, we're back. And then I had this thought, oh, we're going to have our 3,000 show this month. What would you like to see? And we had a lot of great ideas, but I let it go like I do everything. You know, I'm going to go do this, and it didn't happen. But I was just thinking that this must be it.
This is a 3,000th show?
I don't know for sure, Jenna, but there's something in me that tells me it must be.
Oh my God, don't do this to me now.
Seriously, I think it must be because
like
no, I seriously think it must be.
Oh my God.
And if not, this would have been the answer that I didn't know existed. I saw you on the calendar. Yeah, and you know, but yeah, because those were brutal times. And you know, and it's just a reflection of everybody, you know, the 2014, 2015, you know, 20, yeah, I mean, these were, I mean, shit. And then we've been on the phone, you know, just, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's just it's a bit overwhelming, you know, to be honest with you.
I know. I'm on the other end. You got the good bit today. You're the man. You're the man. I'm gonna be over here doing my thing.
No, but you're that video. Your own. You. I mean, how do you? I've seen you just scream at the world, and then I see you come back the next day and say, "Fuck it, I'm not going to go down." And then to be so visible with your not just with the circumstances of your life, but I mean, you know, you're one of those people that taught me it's okay to show your ass today, come back tomorrow and say, hey, you know, I fucked up.
Nice off.
You know what I mean?
Let's get on with it. Yeah. Listen, you got to be authentic. Like, this is the thing. Everybody feels this way. Everybody has these times. And you know what? People say to me, I don't know how you do what you do. And I'll be real. I find it as cathartic as hell, because I've lived in hiding so much of my life behind all that weight, behind all those facades and there's hats and masks. Okay. So now I feel like my soapbox, so to speak, is my cathartic confessional. Because the more I am me, the less anyone has on me, and I then embrace who I really am. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So it's like, what do you got on me now? Okay, I just told the world. Okay, so what do you got on me now? Okay, I'm owning every part of me that I am, good, bad, and ugly. I'm sharing it with you all. So I find it like cathartic as I'm becoming the butterfly, but I feel like in my own style, as you know, I'm smashing through that cocoon in my own way. Because if I had to dredge around that 200-kilo carcass and be something I was not, I swear to God, you're going to see every bit of me coming out, because when I come out and I rise like the queen that I am. Every layer, every aspect, and don't get me wrong, I fail as much as I succeed, but you must. When my little girl died, I promised her that every step of my journey from that day on would be in honor of her. And I tell you what, I've cried feeling that I haven't honored her sometimes. But I will be damned if she ever feels that her presence here was not the impact that it was. And it will ripple effect through my journey for the rest of my life. And because of her, I will be what I could not before her. And because of her, I will go on and be everything I want to be, because she inspires me to do that. She didn't get her first breath, and I'll be damned if I waste one in her honor. I love you. It's been a while since we've had a talk, my brother. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been 3 or 4 years. It's been a while. We've had a couple of
I had 3 babies in 5 years. I remember you said to me once, Jenna, I'm thinking about you being the, Australian correspondent, kind of like the down under kind of feminine, and I said, Todd, I'm just about to have Callie. How can I do this? But you know what? I this day has been coming forever, and I am so grateful that we're both here for it.
Yeah. True.
And you know what? You married an Australian woman. Like, come on, your brother now.
I'm coming home before you know it.
Yeah.
If I have to swim.
I've watched you too. And you know what? You're the same. You walk authentically. And it's not easy by any means. It's not easy. But I feel that even me, I at times forget the fact that I am soul. And I am in it, my humanness. And when I get caught in my humanness, and I feel like that may be the contrast of seeing me go, oh my God, I'm losing my crap today. And then the next day I'm back to, hey, put them big girl pants on. We got work to do, I feel it's the contrast of where you're at, Sometimes we can get very stuck in the physical and we don't see it kind of with the emotion. And then we subside the emotion and we get back to what we really know that we're here for and what we're here to do. And let me tell you, brother, you've only just started your journey. Let me tell you.
I think we all. Yeah. Well, I know you're connected. Believe me, I have firsthand experience. Well, we both did. I mean, I was just coming into my own abilities when I met you.
Oh, I feel like that every day, don't you?
Yeah.
I feel like I still don't know who I am at all. I feel like there's still an element of, holy crap, when I get there, it's going to blow my mind. And I feel the same about you.
I think the mind blowing is going to be happening every day. I think that's what's going to happen.
Listen, I'll say this clearly. I crawl and I fail and I stumble just as much. I am just as much the basket case as I am the chick that looks like she's got her shit so together. And there's 2 different parts of me, as there is to most spiritual people out there, meaning there is that complete all-knowing, knows better, has a more wisdom than I embody as a physical being. But then there's also that part of me and my physicality that wants to get so much closer to that spiritual aspect of me, and what I can be when I'm in my soulism.
It's weird.
But look, my journey's been huge. And I'll briefly, skim, because it's quite a, I've got a couple books in there.
You
Um,
can talk as long as you want. I'll stay here with you
um,
all day if you want to.
okay,
I
look,
don't I don't have
I've
anything
had my
else.
spiritual connection since I was a baby. My first actual memory, whether people want to believe it or not, I was about 6 weeks to 8 weeks old, and I remember looking up into my grandfather's face, and I actually have a photo of me as a baby going, "Who the hell are you? Like, what is this?" And I have it. I have this photo of me looking at my grandfather like, okay, and it's literally my first conscious memory. But I've had my gift my whole life. It used to be dreaming a lot when I was a kid and just knowing lots of things. And then not to get doom and gloom, but I went through a lot of sexual molestation when I was a kid, through different people. And so that then kind of broke me off from my whole connection completely. So holy crap, now I'm kind of in this place with this world and this stuff happening. Um, I was very alone as a child. I had older siblings and my parents both worked. So I had a lot of time alone, and my best friends were my like pets and the environment and the other kids in the neighborhood. So it was very fantasy kind of growing up in my little head, and a lot of that only tuned in what I already had there. And then when I was 12 years old, my dad actually passed from pancreatic cancer, and he was 39. And he actually kicked off my mediumship, because when he died that night, and me and him were very close, when he passed, it rocked my world to the core. Now I know that most people lose a parent and whatnot, and it does. And I don't say this, begrudgingly or belittlingly. But my dad was my person. He was the only one that got me. He was the only one that made me feel completely loved and totally, you're perfect. You're my kid. I love you. You light my eyes up when I walk in the room, sort of thing. So when he passed, it's like my whole world was just boom, gone. But anyway, so he was in a coma for a couple of nights before he passed away, and I was sent home the night they were going to turn the machines off because I was only 12. So I was staying at my mum's friend's house, and because we had slept at the hospital for a couple of nights, I was really tired. And I got woken from a dead sleep. Well, it's the only time it's ever happened to me. And it's just like the movies when you literally bolt upright in bed. And I could not see him, but I knew he had died. And I felt all the love and peace he was in that moment. And I could not even shed a tear, did not even worry, did not even cower, didn't even get a fat, nothing. I was so in that love and what he was feeling that as a child, as 12 years old, I knew my dad had just died. I literally felt the snap in our stomach, in my stomach. I felt the cord snap between me and him. Couldn't even shed a tear. I laid straight back down and within minutes, back to sleep. That's how peaceful it was and beautiful. But I knew in that moment he had died. I knew he was coming to say his goodbye to me. I was his only child, and he was an adoptee as well. So we had this real, you know, um, and from that moment on, my mediumship, boom. I literally saw my dad in the world for the next 18 months after he died, just like a movie. There goes the bus. Oh my God, there's my dad. Going into the shop, there's my dad in the mall. I saw him everywhere to the point where it actually upset me, and I got upset and told him to go away once, and he never come back. And now I'm really upset that I did that. But and that was me at 12 and 13 and 14. I then become the street girl, running the streets, running away from home. Just lost my mind pretty much. So yeah, the instincts kicked in there. I've had a couple of close encounters. Actually, if you were an Australian, you'd understand this, but one of our most notorious murderers used to live up the road, up the street from me, and he used to actually deliver pizzas before anyone knew who he was. And his name was Ivan Milat, and he delivered pizzas to my house when I was 15. And geez Louise, it was a scary encounter. But yeah, many different things like that, and my instincts have always been there. But yeah, so my dad kicked that off when I was 12, and I've had it, pretty much ever since. For me, my connection is so strong at times I can't even tell the difference between me and it. I can't. I mean, people talk about turning it off, switching it off, and I don't even think I want to be quite honest. It's so me that I wouldn't know what I'd be without it, to be honest. And I don't get how I can turn myself off. No pun intended. I do know how to turn myself off the other way, but I don't. I don't know how not to be me. So yeah, but when you met me, as I said, I was still big. I lost my daughter in 2012. I was a teenage mom. I got married early. I got married when I was 19 years old. At the moment, I'm in a separation with my husband of 28 years. I just feel that everyone at the moment is being pushed to their limits, and all the things that are left unsaid, unspoken, unfelt are all coming to the surface for everybody. I don't want to get into the whole COVID thing because
I'm with you.
but I will just say it's the light against the dark, the negative against the positive, and each person is being asked to rise. Each soul is being asked to do their job, and each soul is being asked to step up right now. And that's what I'm going to say about that. But yeah, so when you met me, I was still very big. I've actually lost 120 kilos.
Jeez.
So I don't know how many pounds that is. Getting more toward the 250, something like that, I would assume. But to be quite honest, I've struggled more with myself since I've lost the weight. When I lost the weight, I took away all that security that I had put there. When I was big, and this was not even the case anyway, so I don't know how I fooled myself into believing these things. But even when I was big, I used to think, oh yeah, I'll be big and I'll be unattractive, you know what I mean? And then I won't have people coming at me sexually, which was never not the case. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but it was just this thing. I guess as a kid, I just wanted that security. I also wanted that levels of boundary between me and you, this kind of between what's going on and whatnot. So as I started losing the weight, I actually started getting really vulnerable. And then I started becoming really vulnerable because also when I was big, I was intimidating. When you're a big person, people go, will I go there with that person or not? And so as the weight was coming off, I started feeling like I was getting more attention, which was like, oh no, 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 no. And then it was, I'm getting smaller in myself, and I feel weaker, if that makes sense. I feel more vulnerable. I feel like now that I'm skinny and people can literally pick me up over their shoulder and stuff like that. It's like, great, you can hurt me now. Great. At least when I was 200 kilo, you couldn't pick me up and do anything to me. You know what I mean? Like, so all these other insecurities started coming out, and it's just all these other layers that I've needed to deal with. So what I'm trying to say is it wasn't obviously the weight 100%. And going back to addiction, the weight was just how I coped. After I stopped eating, or after I got surgery and literally made it impossible for me to eat, I cut the addiction off at the neck. But then I started smoking more because the addiction wasn't still being, acknowledged, or that work was supposed to be up here, not anywhere else. So I will say that, I got my weight loss surgery in 2016. And I had the babies after that. I had another 2 babies back to back after that, and that kind of sent me nuts. I actually had a breakdown 3 years ago. Had a mental breakdown 3 years ago. put myself in a mental institution for 4 days until I wreaked havoc in there and I basically made a psychologist admit to my husband that he lied, because I was the only person in the nut house that was not on any medication at all. And so they were trying to treat me like I was heavily medicated and wouldn't remember all these things. And yeah, so after that, they kind of were threatened by my mind and said to my husband, if she doesn't shut up, we're going to keep her here for 3 months. I signed myself out that day. So yeah. But yeah, basically just had a massive breakdown. One of the people that molested me as a child took their own life, and they were all over the news here in Sydney at the time. I had just had Luna, my last daughter. And yeah, it just boom, I lost it. I lost my stuff. That was it, you know. So I would just like to say to people that, you know, I really feel like if you really want to do authentic healing and you really want to kind of get to your crux of your real problems, you need to really be really ready to deal with stuff face to face. And until then, and this is not a cop out at all, but until then, I don't feel like anything you kind of do is going to make a huge amount of progress for you. Even if it is you're fighting an addiction, or you want to stop smoking, or you want to stop looking at women, or your sex, or whatever. Like, you can attempt them things and you may get somewhere for a bit, but it's going to be a very big struggle, because the struggle is not the sex addiction. The struggle is not the cigarettes or the food. It's, for me, it's the little inner child that was molested and had to hold all that in for the first, I didn't tell anyone for the first 21 years of my life. And by then I was already humongous, you know. And then typically when I did tell, I was shunned. And I was, oh, I think you're a liar. And I think, you know, because once again, I really, you know what I really do think? I really do think that us as a society need to listen to children. I think that us as a society need to listen to children, and when children are telling us things that we don't want to hear, we need to listen again. Because I don't want to hear ends up adding to their trauma. They then think they don't have anyone to turn to. Then they start to take it on board internally and think that they have to fix the things on their own. And kids don't know how to do that. They also blame themselves for everything because they're children and they don't get all the big world problems and all the other things that come involved with life in general. So whether your parents went and got divorced and you were there, or whether, you know, someone was cheating and you saw things, like, it doesn't matter what the trauma is, but as a child, when you got nowhere else to put it, you internalize, you take it on board. You make it yours, you make it your responsibility. And when it's not yours and it's fine and you don't know what to do with it, that literally F's you up for a long time. So when my last child was born, Luna, when she was born, and she's 2, one of my molesters was on the news because he went missing. My gift kicked in, of course, and I knew what he had done. But because of who he was to me, no one in my family wanted to believe me when I said he's taken his own life. You know, I know it. And I even got a visit from the spirit world. Well, I have this uncanny thing where I can actually see people's coming home parties. I can actually be there and be present for them and still come and wake up over here the next morning. So I was there for his so-called party. And so were a few of my relatives that weren't happy that they were at the party because, you know, because of circumstance. But so I had a big breakdown. I was just like, holy crap. Once again, it was all the stuff I hadn't dealt with. This was someone I didn't ever acknowledge to the full degree of what he had done to me. I didn't do the whole, I know what you did. I remember what you did, and you're a piece of, you know what. I didn't do that with him. And so I don't know exactly what triggered what it did for me, but it did. But like everything in my journey, as tragic as it can be at times, there always comes a point when I look back and I'm grateful. Always. Doesn't matter how horrid it is. Look, at the time, I had about 3-year rampage where I literally couldn't shut up for the life of me. Everything I felt, every memory, every emotion was just spilling out of me. Like when I say I had a breakdown, I literally felt like my head cracked open, my heart cracked open, and I was just spewing all my trauma and feelings and emotions that I had pent up that whole time. I had lived my life, especially as a big person. I had belittled myself so much. I had allowed things to go on in my life that I never wanted, never would have wanted, never would have allowed, never was my moral compass. All those sorts of things, because to be quite honest, when I was 200 kilos, I felt like the biggest, ugliest burden to everyone around me, that I felt like, well, they're obviously putting up with me, so I guess I got to put up with them. You know what I mean? And that means all the stuff that they do that makes me feel less than, and all the stuff that makes me feel not good enough. So it was just perpetuating, you know, everything. But look, I could go on forever.
I
I
think you're
don't even
doing
know
I think you're doing fantastic. I got a seatbelt on here. I'm just trying to,
when you do.
yeah,
Okay,
you're
well, yeah, like I literally went nuts, you know. Like God love my partner. I've been with my partner since I was 14 years old. My whole life is a very big fairy tale in a weird, twisted way. I met him on school holidays. My friend and I were prank phone calling people, you know, ringing the whole do 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 do, you know, do 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 da, and hanging up, and being, delinquents as we do. And that's how I met my partner. And we ended up being together for 28 years. And you know, so what I'm trying to say is, when I was with him really, really young, you know, so we didn't get the whole I'm 20 and single and I work and I go out and party and I know who the hell I am, you know. Like my partner and I have been together since 14 and 15. So it's like we've learnt to kind of grow together, or whoever the hell we were was only ever in that bubble of who we were, you know. So I feel like, as much as there's a separation at hand right now, I feel like it's growth, and it has to be this way, for both of us individually. I feel like because we were in that bubble for so long, it's kind of like stagnant in some ways in your own immediate growth, because you get kind of complacent and comfortable in that bubble where you both kind of adore each other. And and sometimes when you love somebody, um, you can be the worst influences with each other. Like you can just put it, like you just allow things, or you just go, oh, but I love you. You know what I mean? Um, so at the moment, it's a massive growth for me spiritually and physically. And I feel like this is now, and this is not me saying, oh, woohoo, I'm going to start hitting the club, because I couldn't even if I wanted to in the COVID. But this is kind of like, I feel like internally, I feel like I'm immature, and I feel like I haven't had the challenges in some areas of life that other people have. Like, as I said, I was with my partner since 14. I was a mother at 17. I was married at 19. I never lived out of home. I went from my mum's house to me and my partner's house, to now my wedded house, to now I'm a mother. And that's never stopped for me. And I have 5 daughters now. And so now it's kind of like learning who I am as an individual. And I feel like the same with my husband. It's just, I feel like it's needed growth and expansion that needs to take place. Now, once again, in that comfortable bubble, this was probably something we needed to do a long time ago. But the fear, which we all get sucked into, which takes over the driver's seat most of the time in our journey, if we let it, keeps us where we're at. And I just got to the point with my journey and the whole pressure of this kind of metamorphosis that I'm on, that I needed big change, and I needed my own growth, and I needed it like I needed my next breath. So it's kind of like, listen, if you have to keep me here, it's gonna have to be my way. I need to do it my way, you know. So as I said to you before, when I get on my lives and stuff, it's cathartic to me, Todd. It's me going, here I am, in all my weakness, in all my humanness, in all my womanless, in all my soulness, whatever you want to see in me right now, here I am. And this is a good day, a bad day. This is a day in Jenna's world. Do you know what I mean? And I don't feel like anyone can inspire anyone with bullshit. Mm. The inspiration that people see is their own physicality, their own limitation, their own days of losing their mind, their own days of looking like rat woman. That's what I call myself sometimes when I look like rat woman, you know, like she just crawled out of the sewer and the hair's kind of crazy. And
I have that same thing.
I'm in my robe like at 2:00 in the afternoon, and I've got kids at home, and I'm in my robe, and that's just life, mate. And this is the thing. Nobody needs to see. No one needs to look up on the mountain like we're in Brazil and there's Jesus, you know. We all need the hand up the mountain, Todd. We all need to say, hey, I'm one step ahead up the mountain of craziness, but here, let me pull you up with me. Like, no one needs to see how we get up the top of the mountain. They need to know how we can get on the trail to get our ass up the mountain, you know. And I feel like I try and keep it real. I try and cut the BS. I don't like all these big names for things spiritually. You know, I try and cut it down. I try and give my people, my audience, little things that they can start tuning in. I would like to eliminate myself out of a job. That's how much soul I am, brother. I'm trying to teach people how they can connect and they don't need me, because they don't need me, right? I'm not here to go, oh, can't teach them. There goes my job. No. Maybe that is my job. Maybe my calling is to do that. Like, come on now. Let's not live in the fear. If we're going to live in the fear, we might as well just pick a corner of the room and sit there forever. You know, you can't, like, where is the understanding? I find myself saying this all the time. Where is your understanding? Like, as spiritual beings, some of the first things you're taught are some of the most classic bits of gold, you know, like, you're always going to be looked after. You're a child, or you're a soul of the universe, for Christ's sake. You were born here. You were given your first breath. You have reason and rhyme. You have a job to do. You have a mission to accomplish. You really don't think. And the other thing that comes to me the other day, sometimes I'm doing the dishes or like cleaning the toilet. It's all these menial jobs, and then all my stuff will come to me, right? And, you know, the things that come to me are often the most innocent kind of golden little things, you know. And what come to me the other day is all right, so you're under the, you know, we're all under this thing that we've, you know, agreed to come and do all this stuff before we were born, right? And then so I'm sitting there and they said to me, well, Jenna, would you let yourself down? Would you sign yourself up for something you couldn't accomplish, gal? I don't think so. Right? So if you can't believe in the God, the all is, can you not believe in yourself? Do you really think you signed yourself up for something you cannot achieve? Absolutely not. Why would you? Oh, I'm going to go down and F myself. Yeah. That's going to be a good waste of a journey. Woohoo. Like, no. Like, you know, like, yeah.
Oh,
sorry, someone's trying to call. Through this, and that's the point. So I want to get back to the realness. I want to get back to the soul level. I want to get everyone recognizing that each one of us is exactly each one of us, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
And we are always talking to ourselves internally. We know what we need. We know the things that disgust us, or we go, no, that's not me. Nah, you know, we got to stop bullshitting ourselves, to be quite frank. And we need to get down to the real deal. And if you really want to be happy in your journey, and this is for anybody out there, and I'm talking to myself too, so please don't say this. A lot of the times I'm talking and there's this stuff coming out of my face, and I'm like, oh, I hope I'm listening to this, because this is for me too. But for real, authentic healing, you need to get to your really nitty and the gritty. You need to get down to the trauma. You need to get down to whatever is literally holding you back. And as I said, that cathartic soapbox, if I can get up there and say, I was molested. I was molested by 7 different people in my childhood. The last time I was sexually abused, I was 21-year-old, and I was at a bus stop by someone who was here on a holiday visa. If I can get up and actually confess the things that have been holding me back, or the truth of my journey, then I'm liberated. You know, and in that you can then start doing that healing to go, right, that happened to me, yes, but that is not me. You know, you don't go down to McDonald's and talk about every time you got yourself an ice cream. Why is that? It's lovely. You know what I mean? So, but why is it that the trauma is so difficult to kind of talk about and get it over and done with? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's really what we need to do. But I try and be as honest and open as I can on my channel. I try, and the same with the readings. Like, listen, no offense to anyone, but like, you know, if you come and say, for instance, oh, I'm seeing this guy and this, and this, and I go, well, honey, do you really need a reading for that? Listen to your own words. Do you know what I mean? Start participating in your own goddamn journey. Stop acting like you're under anyone else's control, or anyone can do anything to you that you don't allow to happen to yourself. Like, we need to really start getting our big girl and boy panties on and just be real. Like, no one needs you to be a saint. No one needs you to be anything you're not. If we all just be real with each other, then maybe some people can drop their masks and actually get comfortable with their realness and get somewhere in their life. And that, to me, is more gold than anything. You know, but been there, done that, Toddy. As you know, most of this stuff's kind of had a little brush with these things. I tell you what I have done since we spoke. I went and did my ayahuasca.
You did?
Oh,
how was that? How was that?
Listen, one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. I'm telling you now.
The darkness comes up real quick, doesn't it?
When I went to grandmother, I said to her, and I swear to the Lord, I said, you need to take all this blackness out of me. I asked Grandma ayahuasca to get rid of all the molestation, all the trauma. I asked her to sweep me clean, like when I was a baby, before any of this stuff touched me or come anywhere near me. And let me tell you, I swear to you, my friend, I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die. And at one point, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was face down on the cold earth of Australia, hugging the earth, because that's all I could do. That's all I could do. And she said to me, do you want to live, Jennifer? And I don't know who answered, but the next thing, she commanded me to get up. And when she tells you to get up, you get the hell up, man. You get up before your body's your body's already up. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm up. Okay, I guess I'm living. I guess that's the choice. But, you know, like, no, that was one of that, like, that was harder for me in some aspects than giving birth to my baby asleep. But I tell you what, it's one of the most amazing things I've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, people talk about it. Morgan wanted to know if
did
you do that in Australia?
Yes, no, yes, no, yes.
I got you. It's the underground. Hey, but you know, people
You know I
talk.
have my connections, honey.
I
You
know you
know.
do. I know. Where you
But
at, by the
yeah,
way? Are you in Sydney? Where are you
I
at?
am in Sydney.
Okay.
I'm in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I just
actually
need to
had a brother.
know. I need to know when I get over there where I can get my connection.
Oh,
Just
you know, hey, you know it's always
I
here.
know. I
Been
know.
your girl for a long time.
But you
But
know,
yeah, look,
a
I'm
lot
very
of
fortunate. I know a lot of beautiful souls in the spiritual community in Australia and in Sydney. I've been very blessed to be connected to some fantastic communities and people. My soul group, a lot of beautiful people. Uh, we're all going through it at the moment, but I just think that, we all just got to stick to what we really know, not
yeah.
this BS that you're being told and all the fear mongering and stuff. Like everything. I keep saying to everybody, have you seen the movie Monsters Inc., where they're like zapping the kids, like they're literally taking the screams out of the kids like batteries? This is what this is, right?
Exactly. That's
This
exactly
is
right.
what,
That's
right? They
exactly
want
right.
all the fear and they're going to suck all the fear out of us because that's doing a job, right?
It's
But
their
at the end of
food. It's their sustenance. It's their food.
And
That's
at
what
the
it
end of
is.
Monsters Inc., they find out when the kids scream and giggle and are happy, it just obliterates
Mm-hmm.
it, right? That's what this is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your batteries pumped, people. Remember what you are. Remember what you do know. Don't listen to the crap you don't know, because half the time it's BS. And your heart and soul always knows your truth anyway. Like, look, I've been called a nutter for a long time. I love that. I love David Icke. I get on there and do my things when I get my premonitions and my visions. When COVID first hit last year, I got on and was like, "Oh my God, this is what's going to happen!" And literally, tick tickety
Mm-hmm.
tick tick tick. You know, but people, when they're not ready to hear, they automatically call you nuts, crazy, da 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 da. You can't worry about that. You just got to be your truth and your
Mm.
authenticity. I would hate to think I was able to see something, feel something, or know something and no one else could know, and then I didn't have the balls to say it. I think that's really why I have the gift that I have, to be quite honest, because I have the balls to say it. And so
Mm.
Spirit's like, get her to do it. She's got the balls.
Exactly, right? Exactly. I totally relate to that. Growing up too,
Absolutely.
get Todd to do it.
Absolutely.
He'll do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So,
now it's a
like,
superpower. Now it's a
yeah.
superpower. It
Oh, I
doesn't
don't
get
know.
you in
Sometimes
trouble.
I still feel crazy all the time. But look, I guess what I'm trying to say is this is me. I can't deny what I am and I can't deny what I'm not. I can't deny what I get, and I will never. I've just come off a 3-day ban myself. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to be on here today. Actually, Morgan inboxed me last night and she's like, Jenna, there's issues with Facebook. And I'm actually like, yay. because
Yeah,
I,
I'm like
because
that
I
every day.
I
I'm
just come
like,
off a 3-day ban, and I'm like, what
I
if this
can't.
doesn't work
Uh,
for me
I
anyway on Facebook?
I
So,
couldn't. I could not. There's no coincidences, Jenna. You know this. I mean,
oh, honey, I say to people,
everything's coming back. You said it would. I think it was 2013,
mm,
2020. I know it was 2014 at the latest, but
yeah,
all the all the messages, the couple of phone conversations,
mm,
we were in the shit. We
yep,
were awake, but we
mm-hmm.
were up to our. I was up. You were up to your shoulders in shit, and you were standing on mine.
And vice versa.
I know. So
Yeah,
it was like,
yeah,
I remember there was never with you, there was never that codependent, let me hold you up, bullshit, I love you. It was just, I'm
no,
fucked today.
yeah,
And can you relate to this?
yep,
Yes, I can.
yep,
My loved one passed, this happened, that happened. And
yep,
this what you're saying. I remember 10 years ago, groveling in the crap. You know, this is on the streets where I was just doing the flip phone to the Soulogy. It's like 200-300 people, right? I mean, it was, but I remember,
walked in your truth and we walked with you, brother.
right? Yes.
Mm.
And then, and like, I remember hearing, and you said it, I've been trying to explain this for 10 years. And you said it at the beginning, but I remember hearing, they were like looking at me going, what are you so worried about? Just, we're going to give you a little information. The whole world's going to know everything you've ever done. And I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Well, then I heard, but it works that way for everybody. And I thought, absolutely. Oh, shit. So when you said, what can you do to me if you know everything? Right?
It's like
that feeling.
Now tell them something they don't know about me.
That feeling is the most. I had actually had this happen to me. Would have been probably 20. Well, no, it would have been at that time. It would have been like 2013, 2014. A family member sent an email with pictures to all my family. And it was one of those situations, and it wasn't totally legit. I'll say that. But it was one of those situations where, you know, that saying about don't make excuses, because if they're not your friend, they're not going to believe you anyway. And if they're your friend, they don't need to hear it. So I went silent. But I got to tell you, I was so liberated, and you captured it in that statement. Like, what can you do to me? So, I mean, the playing field is being leveled. You bring up some of the stuff that we see in the community. And this is all information for us. And you're right, we're all the same. And we're watching somebody show their ass because we've done it before, and we'll probably do it again. But
absolutely.
To see that.
It's been a while, Todd, since you're shaking that ass.
Right? But do you remember like the humility?
Absolutely.
The humility, nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can do that. And that's the one thing that kept me going, that kept you going, and that I can look at myself every day and I'll say it. I'll judge myself. And that's the barometer is, how humble are you? Are you complaining about anything? You know, do you not appreciate what you have? And I'm absolutely convinced that if you can't find it where you're at, you're just going to go somewhere else and try it again. And you're going to go somewhere else and try it again. And at some point, you're going to realize, I'm realizing, and I'll realize it again, I'm sure, I could have done this there. Then I didn't have to go somewhere. I didn't have to go find this or find that or whatever. You know what I mean? Energetically speaking, I'm not talking about.
Yes.
And that was what I call the universal isolation, man. That's where you're just like you and God.
Dark night.
Yeah, dark
night. It's not a bloody night, mate. Let me tell you, it's not a bloody night.
Jesus Christ.
The longest night in bloody the universe, if that's the case.
See, you know what? The other thing is that we're like this. I'm telling you, we're just like we're literally from the same leaf on the branch of the tree of life. I mean, that's the, you know, I'm living proof and you're living proof. You can lose your fucking mind and find the light, at the same time. Yeah. And you can lose your mind and find the light at the same time. Yeah. And that's a fact. You know, Morgan and I were talking this morning, you know, she's sensitive, whatever, ET. Yeah. She says, something's in the air, right? She wrote it earlier.
I'm telling you, they better be coming. That
they're here. It's you.
No, but I'm saying they better be doing something about, you know.
I don't think they're gonna do anything for us.
I think they've been here forever. Hey, here's something you need to look into. Now, I don't even know if Morgan knows about this. Let the girl give you a hookup, right? We've had an activation here in Australia. I've lived here my whole life and I've never heard of the Aboriginal prophecy.
Is it the one with Uluru?
Yes,
Okay.
Uluru has been activated since 2020,
Hmm.
2021.
Hmm.
No, 2020, sorry, October 2020. Now,
Hmm.
basically, the prophecy says that thousands of years ago, the Australian Aboriginals were in contact with the Palladians, and the
Yeah.
Palladians gifted them crystals that were then placed into Uluru, and they were told that, come this date and time, you need to activate this thing. And they've carried that for thousands of years, never spoken a word outside of any of their people. And I've actually had this confirmed by many. I know quite a few actual Aboriginals and a couple of people that know elders and stuff like that. And yes, this is legitimate, as is legitimate. Australia government, funnily enough, gave the Aboriginals back Uluru that year, about 3 months before the activation, out of the blue, just gave them back the land, gave them back Uluru. They then said to the public, right, you've got a couple of months to come and see her, touch her, whatnot, and then you're never setting foot on her ever again. And they literally have quarantined off the whole area. You cannot get near her. And the Aboriginal people are taken aback. So come October, they did ceremony, and there were all the tribes around Australia, all the Aboriginals come together for this prophecy, and they activated Uluru. Now, Uluru is supposedly, and I say this only because I don't know every bit of information, so I don't want to be quoted, but supposedly, and I'm not saying like it's not happening, just I don't know all the information. Uluru is now the new heartbeat of the new world, and she is pumping out the new energy to the new world. And in the prophecy, apparently the world will turn over 3 times before the new world, and those that will be occupying that world will be remaining. But apparently the heartbeat's going out, and it's hitting all the sacred sites in Australia, including the grandmother tree, which I have been blessed to be at. Then it grids around to Australia, and then everything gets activated. Then it goes over to New Zealand, does the same thing, and then it goes across the whole planet.
Yeah.
But basically, I now live in the heartbeat of the new world.
I'm going to tell you a couple of things. One, my own journey, which is only my own journey, which was the memories activated the moment I heard Morgan's voice. In that instant, I know Australia is my home. I know I came through there. Everything starts there. And I really believe with everything that's happening and the things I've been privy to, that it's going to start there.
Yeah.
You've got the most the widest expanse between polarities, because I think like most people, I thought Australia was like the coolest place in the world, and you had freedoms and so on and so on. Come to find out since last year, the reality, and so I feel and see, and also privy to what's happening with Morgan, Kimpy Pyramid, the stories that she's been given, other feminine energies consolidating, octahedrons being activated. I saw it in a session. I saw some stuff happen with what was going on there. I mean, it's all, to me, it's not only is it the heartbeat, but I think it was the womb.
Yeah, I was gonna say the birth canal almost.
Right. I think it was I think, or at least for me, because I mean, I could go into lots of, but my point is I believe you. I trust this. I know this. And I don't know about the world spinning around and this and that, but I just have this.
Oh, that's just a prophecy. Like, I guess that's however long it would take.
No, but it could be. I mean, we don't know. But the thing is that there's something going on there. And I saw it about, what was it? Morgan and I were on a Zoom call, and you can watch, or on Messenger, and you can watch a video. And it was when they were having some demonstrations about 4 weeks ago, I don't know, in Melbourne and Sydney.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by the women. The women.
Yeah.
It was the women. And even when David Icke came on, the video they took off, it's on Facebook, by the way, or whenever I get back on.
Yes, I'm so proud.
I have it here.
Two on the same screen. It's awesome.
But what he said to me, and I think it was off air before we got on. He said, in his accent, he says, I said, did you see what was happening? I said, my wife and I were watching these, and I said, did you see the women? He said, yes, mate. Or whatever they say. He says, where are the bloody men? That's what he said. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you got all these big, personas, right? This distorted masculine and he said, where are they? And but to me, that's where it is. It's the mother, it's the mother energy anchoring in these women like you and Morgan and these women she's running into. And it's embodied, and it's, hey, we're now fully in the no bullshit zone. And it's kind of like what you said. It's like, hey, what are you going to do to me?
What are you
going
to do?
It's not about quarantines and COVID. It's about a transformation.
Liberation of the soul.
Yeah. Far out.
You got to liberate that soul. And not to get off topic, but sometimes people find it hard to accept other people's way of living or their sexuality or whatever. And I think it's ridiculous. Like, we're a soul. Yeah. We've already been female. We've been male. Who cares? And in our biology, we're both until we're about 13 weeks or 12 to 13 weeks gestation. We're like little frogs. We got both sexes. Like, so who cares? Like, how do you know a transgender just doesn't still connect to the energy of a previous life? Or how do you know they haven't been way more masculine in their journey of souls than they have in the feminine? How do you know? Who gives a shit anyway? You bringing things back to the physicality. Once again, you've slipped back to the physical. You're not in your soulism right now. You're looking at the physical. The separation's already happened within you. And this is the point. We need to stay on board as individuals and not keep breaking away from what we already know and making that contrast of miscommunication within ourselves. And therefore, we then spread that shit to everyone else. Get your shit together. Like, what do you know? Bring it back to what you know. I am soul.
That's right.
I am not this body. I'm not these genitals. I am not these, I am soul. I'm immortal. I'm a king. I'm a queen. I'm whatever you want to call it. You are far bigger than this. Listen, I try and tell people all the time, imagine how magnificent you are as a soul if the creator has created this carcass and all this magnificence to hold you and home you. How grandiose is your soul if this magnificent being that cleans itself, restores itself, replenishes itself, can live on vapors, just needs sun, energy, that is just the home, your soul. So how amazing are you as a soul? Come on,
man.
Come on. Stop living in the little. We're not here. We're not here for laws and rules and COVID and bullshit. We're here to exceed all the limitations that the world throws at us, to remember that we are soul.
That's it. Who's the one that could have fooled you? Me, right? That's the way I always look at it. Like, to me,
me.
Yeah. When you wake up to yourself, and we had this guy, this gentleman, this brother, and he in the same frequency, 120 days he was on his ass, coming out of a 4-month dark night of the soul after having the awakening path that we all had. And he just was so real, Taino is his name, from Puerto Rico. And he says, you can have all of this stuff, the woo-woo and the love and light, but he said, until you fall in love with humanity, it's not done. And then he had the same kind of thing that you were saying about the differences, the differences. Man, you are, one of the things that I kind of got away from, and I needed to, and I know you remember this, but the fire, not that I don't have fire, it's not that. It's just, there was a distorted part of me. There was a distorted part of me that came out, I'm sure. And so what? It was me. right? It was my heart, shadowed and all, but the loudness, the power, the high, the full resonance, it can still be attained and be soft. You know what I mean? It can have that softness, that feminine, but the strength of a strong voice like yours lets me know that it's okay to let a little bit more of that out. Because, you know, I used to do it and people would go, wow, man, go for it. And that was great. And that was applicable then. But there's this soft power that's rising. And maybe it's the other side of our equation. Maybe the feminine has come in, softened it up, and now the real other side of us and all of us, because it ain't about, like you said, it ain't about your genitals, can start to really roar.
I hate it. I hate the whole complicit. Oh, it's a man thing, a woman thing. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
We are all, you know, that we're masculine. I'm very masculine in my energy. And I actually find my feminine triggers me sometimes. And I'll go back to your gentleness statement, because I still has a resonance inside me that gentleness and vulnerability mean ooh,
weakness,
not good.
Weakness. Yeah.
Like it goes back to the whole ooh, what
it's
happens,
so funny.
like, you know, it's that memory of that feeling of vulnerability and what it's done in your past, and it's not been a good connection, so your body kind of goes, ooh, we remember that feeling. You
come back,
you know,
it always circles back, you know. I mean, like with me, it was, you know, I was a kid, they'd say he's sensitive, and of course then you go out and play with the boys on the street,
you got to muscle up,
you gotta either become that which you essentially detest and don't align with, or you don't. And then now to come full circle and reacquaint myself with that, you know, and I see it in your story, and I see it in a lot of people. It's amazing. But I think at the end of the day, the bottom line is that, you know, is fucking get real. Just get real.
Absolutely.
If you're
well,
you know this time. You hear this one, how you doing? I'm okay. Let me, you know, hey, you know what? I have more trust in myself and in others when I hear I'm not okay, but I am okay. You know what I mean? I'm not okay, and I'm okay because I'm not okay. Yeah. Because I know I'm not okay, and it's okay. Yeah. But to say that I'm okay and I've reached the top of the mountain, so to speak, is a bunch of bullshit.
Absolutely. You're kissing up.
Yeah.
You're either trying to make me feel better. Let me tell you, this is a good example of what perturbs me these days. And I'll be real. If I say to you, Todd, how are you going? And you're like, I'm okay. I'm more likely these days to go, great. I'm leaving you with that. Yeah. Because I don't have time to sit here and go, oh, really? Are you sure? Are you sure you're okay? Really, Todd, come on. Are you okay? What's wrong? I don't have time to model collie you. If I'm coming to you in truth and saying, listen, are you okay? Please reciprocate with me. And you're either at that point or you're not. And when I say to you, I'm leaving you in that, I'm not saying, well, F you. I'm saying, right, you don't want to be real. Okay. Right?
Yeah. I get
but I'm not going to sit here and go, come on, are you okay? Are you okay? Come on, let's do it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and spend 15, 20, 30 minutes trying to pull a story out of you that your ego wants to tell me anyway. Okay?
That's right.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to me. Okay? I love you, but I'm not doing that to me. I'm not going to sit here and get perturbed by you to try and help you when you want to make it snakes and ladders to get to the story. Okay? I'm not doing that. I love you, but if that's where you're at, I will love you and leave you. Okay?
I get you. And there's another side to that. There's another version of that. And I'm dealing with that. I think we all deal with it because this is a whole evolution thing, but recently starting to get my arms around how am I going to deal with this? And that is when they, and this is me, I'm talking about me, mirrors of me, gifts of me, mirrors of me that come in and they want to tell you what's wrong with you. They want to tell you, they want to pry and poke. because they want to, and it's not a personal thing, but
Making
how
you
do you
aware
respond to
of
that? And
yourself.
I like what you say, and I'm kind of adopting that. And it's like, I don't answer,
Mm,
or I don't answer the question, but I am saying I'll leave you with that, one way
yeah,
or the other.
yeah.
And I'm digging it. I'm probably
Or
pissing
I
a few
say
people
sometimes I
off.
go, you might be right there.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I just
yeah.
leave a minute.
That's a good
You
one.
know what
That's a
I mean?
good one. That's a good one.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But when people were like, look, I've been pretty down and out. Oh, my separation's very fresh. I went through this in June, okay? And it's amazing when things change in your journey and the dynamic of you and your other, or what you appear to be to other people, changes, and then everyone's got an opinion of what you're doing and how it should look and how it should go, and
Yeah.
da 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 da.
Yeah.
So it was very hurtful to me during that time to have everyone kind of come to, this is you, you know that you are very loud, you know that you're very combative, Jennifer, you know
Mhm.
this kind of thing. And I'd be like, at first I got really kind of offended, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
is this loving me right now? I don't like, look,
Tell me what you
I'm
really
all for
think.
the real. Yeah, I'm all for the real, but can't a girl just get a little hug and a kiss first? Can't you just
Yeah.
make her feel a little bit like she's not out on her own?
Yeah.
Anyway, it
It's
got to the
dying.
point. I
Yeah.
know, but it got to the point where I'm like, listen, am I going to listen to your opinion of me right now?
Mm-hmm.
This is my old mentality. This is how I got 200 kilos, because I gave
Mm-hmm.
a crap more about what you thought of me, what I should be doing in your eyes, and how I should be living my perfect life
Mm-hmm.
according to you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I ended up being so big and trying to be a pleaser and having all my masks on. And you know what? It doesn't give you nothing, because most of the time people want that vision of you for that 2 seconds in their mind. They don't know it took you your whole life to put on all those layers and makeup and persona and all that to show up for the expectation they had of you. And this is what I say to expectation these days. I'm sorry, but the only expectation I need, sweetheart, is that of myself.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And if I can sleep at night knowing who I am and what my heart and soul really is, listen, I can F up with the best of you.
Mm-hmm.
I can kick ass for the best of you too. I have old school mentality. I've got a very strong oomph inside, and I've got a flame that will never cease, whether I want it to or not. And we can all go there,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you're not coming to me from love in general, then take that stuff elsewhere, because I
Yeah.
see straight through it. I also don't like it because it makes me feel like you think I'm stupid, that I
Yeah.
don't know exactly what's going on here, and I
Yeah.
can't feel your energy or
Yeah.
perceive what's happening.
Well, I think that awareness is coming in to fold for everyone, and
Yeah.
I'm again dealing with it, and I'm not trying to pick on
It
anyone.
comes from love. This is what I feel like. Listen, we can all stuff up. We all do. But at the very end of the day, I'm love, you're love. And I
Yeah.
know you're love, Todd, because your heart's like mine. Look, I feel like there's two sorts of humans on the planet, right? I feel like there's the normal kind, and I just mean, in the normal sense of heart and soul and connection and whatnot. And then I feel like there's us who are the humanitarian heart. I tell people all the time, my heart is too big for me. It can't just be mine. It beats for way too many of you. It beats for the animals being abused. It beats for the human beings suffering in Africa. It cries for trees being cut down to make houses. I can't even go down the street when they're clearing land and see all the dead trees laying on the ground. Like, I cry. Like, I can't even explain it to you. My heart is not for me. It's for everybody else. And I'm being real with this. That's why I feel like my mission is to get up and open my big fat mouth and do my job. That's my mission. That's my mission.
I love it.
It
I
is.
absolutely love it. I just
Like, my heart doesn't beat for me. I honestly, and it's probably something I need to work for, but I'm usually about 5 pegs down the list. You know what I mean? And that's okay. I don't mind it.
Do you
I'm
think I'm
built for it,
stupid?
obviously.
I love that one.
You
Do you think
know,
I'm stupid?
but it's true.
I,
I
I got
think
a message yesterday. Oh my God. what people say and what they want being two different things. Let me blow smoke up your ass. And I'm not, again, it was me, and I'll probably do it again. Right. So I'm not,
Hey, we're all fallible.
right. So it's just like, let me blow some smoke up your ass. And oh, by the way, can you do this for me?
Oh yeah.
And when you just said that a minute ago, like, what, you think I'm stupid?
Yeah, like you think
yeah,
like
it's
you think
funny.
I'm as stupid as you're being right now. That's what I want to say to people. You think I'm as stupid as you're
Oh
acting
God.
right now.
Hey,
Do us both a
you know,
favor.
it's not
Yeah.
the red pill or the green pill. It's the real
No,
fucking, it's the
I
real
want the
pill.
rainbow
Just
pill,
take the
baby.
real pill. Take the fucking get real pill.
Yeah.
Jesus, we'll have to do this again. You know, you're like
Can
a
we
fucking,
please?
I mean, you have actually knocked me off my ass here today. You
I
just,
love you.
I love you too. And I can't even look at you right now. I just,
Why? Why not?
because it's all there. I didn't realize what this was going to be. You know, I mean, I'm looking at
I
you and
was
I
saying to
see
people, what are you going to do in there?
everything.
I go, I don't
Right?
know. We don't need to do anything. Me and
Yeah.
Todd, the time.
Oh God. Oh my God. Yeah.
I said, me and Todd will be fine. I said, it's probably the
Jesus.
limitation to the recording, actually. You
It's
know,
freaking. It's
but
just.
yes, let's do this again. I would
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Well, let's. Yeah. Yeah.
Anytime.
Maybe next
Anytime.
month. Yeah. Maybe next month.
Absolutely. You
You know,
let
I'm
me
gonna
know.
have to. I'm gonna have to. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I should probably take a nap. I've given up everything except herbal tea and coconut water and juice. And, you know, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? What happened to the Hellraiser? He's gone. But
No, he's not.
I know
No,
he's
he's not.
not. I know
No,
he's
no. You
not.
know what he's doing? He's sitting over there and he's letting
Mm,
the spiritual side get to the same level so you can
yeah.
party united properly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. In the heavens.
He's giving you space to become yourself, baby.
Yeah. It's all amazing. You're amazing. You're so beautiful. You're so brave. You're not a planet and you're not a star. You're a fucking
I'm a goddess,
galaxy.
darling.
You're a
I'm a
galaxy.
goddess.
Yeah, you're a goddess. That's right. You're a goddess. Holy
Yes, and
shit.
you,
I don't even know
we
how
are.
people could be around you. They'd be blowing up.
Oh my God, stop.
You're like
You're
a
gonna,
walking,
now you
you're like
see
a
that
walking
you're going
billboard.
now. Oh,
Yeah.
uh.
You're like
No,
I bet you trigger the shit out of people. Just,
I do, but usually they get angry.
well, I think the
Like I'm being
universal
real. Like
uh,
I think I annoy the parts of them that doesn't want to be honest at the point in time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's
just can't do the bullshit. So,
yeah.
like
There's no
I tend
time.
to
There's
go,
no
listen, let's
time
just keep
left.
it real,
Yeah,
you
there's
know?
no time left anymore. It's like we've come so far.
Mm.
And everybody for what the last few years are like, hurry up, let's hurry up, let's hurry. But you know what?
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon,
Yeah,
beloved.
yeah. It's like appreciate it right now. And yes,
Absolutely.
I
I
talked to
look,
my I talked
I
to
go
my
to bed every night. I go to bed every night. And no matter what, like I could have cried my eyes out all day. I could have been at a funeral. I could have listened. I could have done a reading for someone who had the most tragic things come through, and my heart is crying. And every single night I lay in my bed and I thank the universe,
yeah,
because there have been nights when I haven't had a bed to lay in.
yeah.
There have been nights when I've slept on a mattress with springs poking out, where you got to kind of sleep on your side all night just to have somewhere. I've slept on the street. I've done lots of things. I've been in a jail cell. I've done all, so like, listen,
Mm,
you got to be grateful,
yeah, true
because
that.
it's still something that someone else didn't get that day. And when you're saying goodnight to the world, someone said goodbye to someone they love that day. And that's the end. And as much
Jesus
as we
Christ.
want to get up and fluffy and in all of the spiritual stuff, you need to bring it back down to the base
Yeah,
level.
you're right about that.
And there are a lot of people in mass crossing over right now. So I feel like those of us who are getting deemed worthy enough to be staying right now should be understanding that we are being asked to step up now on a mission to get our crap together. Because I truly believe, whether it's this 3 times the world turns over, I truly believe this is about the sacrament of your soul. And the universe is about to deem whether your soul is worthy or not to walk forward into this next world.
It's the great reckoning, isn't it?
It's all about individuality. So there's no point poking fingers going, this one got vaccinated, this one didn't. Who gives a shit? What are you doing for yourself? Because the universe can't be lied to. You can't manipulate the universe, and you can't say, oh, but I'm a good person and I don't know. Bull crap, the universe straight through you, man.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So,
that's right. That's a spirit walk.
People. Get it done.
It's a spirit walk. That's
Yeah.
what it is. We're all on a spirit walk.
That's how we began together, brother. It's probably a good place to end too.
I love you. I love you. Hey,
I love you.
All blessings to you and your beautiful family and everything you're doing. And I look forward to collaborating with you maybe next month. And
absolutely. Hey, you sign me up for the next 6 years. I'll be fine. I'll be here.
You take care.
I love you.
All right.
And Morgan too. I'm so glad you did get I'm so glad you did get an Australian woman. Okay,
yeah.
Morgan's a goddess. Hey, let me tell you, your Morgan's a goddess.
You don't got to tell me, man. I'm
so happy for both of you. But let me say to you, brother, I have watched you. I have seen you. I'm so proud of you. Don't you doubt yourself anymore. Okay.
I got you. Thank you.
You're a man. You're a man among men, sweetheart.
Thank you.
And you've earned it every single step. Don't you let anyone ever make you doubt that for 1 second.
Thank you.
And look at you. You used to walk with a mobile phone through the streets of Texas, I think it was at the time. And you used to tell me about this network you wanted to birth, this idea, this dream. And look at us. We're talking on it right now, which is amazing. But, sweetheart, do you not see what you are doing and the ripple effect? Do you not see how many souls you are inspiring and changing? And the people that you get on to talk and spread their word and spread their truth. And sweetheart, you are facilitating in the expansion of the souls of the planet right now. Baby, you need to see it for the truth that it is. I walked with you and I will continue to walk with you. I love you so much. I believe in you, and I always did. Always. And you've never let me down, and you never will. But I must say to you, this is humongous, Todd. From that man that used to walk and talk in the rain, not even knowing where he had to go, not even knowing what the night was going to bring, whether he had food that day or not. Come on, beloved. Humongous comeuppance to you, my love. I love you. I'm so proud of you. And this is an honor for me to be a part of your baby that I was around to hear when you wanted to conceive her.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love you. I'm so proud of you. And I look forward to sharing the platform with you any day of the week.
Yeah. And when I get over there and hugging you in person.
Hey, we're doing a show together.
I'll reach out to you. You take care. I love you very much. Thank you for everything. It was all my honor, by the way. Feelings very mutual. I'll see y'all. I'm gonna go spontaneously combust now.